This week, the Naked Theologian asks, have you ever heard of Zeno and his paradox? If you like philosophy, chances are you know about it, but it's really useful for theology as well. In fact, it's the silly sort of puzzle that gets everyone thinking. Zeno was one of those Greek philosophers from antiquity. It's a guess, but he lived 490 to maybe 430 BC, and his paradox has lived on, rolling down the centuries. Basically, he dreamt up an imaginary race between the legendary warrior Achilles and a slow, wily, ancient tortoise. Let's say Achilles runs at 10 k's an hour and the tortoise at 5 k's an hour. It's obvious that even with a really big head start for the tortoise, sooner or later Achilles will overtake, cruising to victory. Not so obvious, said Zeno. In fact, Achilles will never, ever win. Well, you could hear the people groan, thinking that philosopher's lost his marbles. Prove your case, Zeno. The old man thought for a moment and said, well, let's be kind and give the tortoise a 10k head start. After 1 hour, Achilles will have run that 10 k's and caught up to where the tortoise was, but not caught up to where the tortoise now is. Tortoise moves slowly forward and in the hour will have covered a new 5 kilometres. By the time Achilles catches up that 5k, tortoise will have moved on again, and each time Achilles catches up to where the tortoise was, tortoise will have moved on to where he now is. Achilles will get closer and closer, but can never catch up. Well, that got the tongues wagging and the eyeballs rolling to heaven. Other philosophers couldn't fault his logic, but thought the conclusion absurd. Obviously, it defied common sense, but each step of the argument was true. Hence it became known as a paradox and lives on even today. Just Google it. The real reason they couldn't solve the paradox was that the Greeks couldn't cope with the concepts of zero and infinity. They thought that the race would last forever and never be resolved. They didn't have the mathematics to see that if the race did last forever, actually Achilles would catch up because at infinity, the distance between the two of them would be zero. Zero, the accursed zero, the number the Greek mind didn't cope with. Without zero, the paradox remains. But with zero, the paradox resolves. Zeno's paradox is like many theological paradoxes and conundrums. We do things with language about God which set up impossible conditions. Many of these paradoxes do resolve when we realize that we've left out or ignored other essential concepts. The most basic and ignored concept is this: where is the image of God to be found? What's your answer?